Good day and welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, Nation's Voice Tower. My name is Angelo Himalayas, your anchor. Yes, today is a very good day, and I'm back with a lot of things that are trending in the political scene, in the political forefront. Yes, if you've been following the trend of events over time, you will see that it's not only Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate, that has been invited to Chatham House. Okay, his counterparts, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and so on have gone there too. But the most recent of the invitees to the Chatham House is the presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People's Party, Alhaji Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso. All right. Rabiu Kwankwaso went to the Chatham House sometime yesterday, and he said a lot of things. And what he said did not only project, or did not only aim at projecting him and whatever his party planned to do for Nigerians, but what he said, one of the things he said was like a backlash to his former ally party, Labour Party, owing to the fact that we all know in the last elections how close Rabiu Kwankwaso was to the Labour Party. And forward to this year, we also had rumors earlier this year, towards the end and towards the ending of last year, of about a merger, a possible merger between the NNPP, the New Nigerian People's Party, and the Labour Party. We had some few information that they were planning to merge, owing to the fact that the opposition parties, talking about APC and PDP, posed a very strong threat to them. But of course, trust politics. He's the spokesman of the NNPP, and then Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso himself came out to debunk that fact, and they refuted all claims that were pointing at a merger. But without wasting much of your time, there is a video trending about the Chatham House and the interview that the NNPP presidential candidate had in the Chatham House. He said a lot. Yes, before I show you the video, he described Labour Party, funnily, or in a funny way, he described Labour Party as what we call Andrew liver salt. Yes, in Nigeria, all of us know what the Andrew liver salt means. He said the Labour Party can be seen as or can be likened to Andrew liver salt that just gives you a very, very huge effect when it's poured into the water or when mixed into solution, and then over time it calms down. Well, I can't really say all this. Let me allow you watch this video. Watch this video, pay attention to this video, and listen to what Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso said at the Chatham House yesterday. Watch it.
The issue of labor, you see, that's the problem we have. The gentleman who stood up there, I'm sure he comes from a particular group or a region, without even asking him, just because you saw, if you have a party which is based on ethnicity and religion, that's the difference between Labour Party and, of course, our party, which is a national party, New Nigeria People's Party. Now, we want, please, you see, while we are accusing leaders of being one thing or the other negative, I think the followers also must learn how to be Nigerians, not coming from one part of the country. Let me say that I was one of those initially wanting to work together with Labour Party. But unfortunately, at that time, Labour Party was under very serious media hype, and therefore they could not see reason. And you still not see reason that I will withdraw. I wish you didn't go to that extent. You would have said that to work with Labour or to work with APC or PDP, that would have been more responsible. But you cannot come to London. Maybe people who are here don't even know what is happening. And I want to say that our party, NNPP, is the only growing party in Nigeria today. We have seen the maximum any party, especially the party you mentioned, Labour, to us is like Andrew's liver salt. Just came, now it's coming down. That's the reality. Just take note of it. And of course, NNPP, our party, is the only party that is now getting support. Forget about big people who are the actual problem of our country. But supporters at grassroots level, we are the only party today. And mark you, we have succeeded in locking northern Nigeria today in terms of votes, in terms of support. Now we are working in the southern part of the country. And for us, the difference between north and south is that north know us more than southern part of the country. If you are from the north, I'm sure you wouldn't have made that statement for Kwankwaso to withdraw for Labour Party. You should go and look at my credentials, my brother. I am a PhD holder in civil engineering. And check your candidate, what he has. I have been in the system for over 30 years now. I have been civil servant for 17 years. I wasn't a trader, civil servant for 17 years. I was Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps in 1992. I was in the Constitutional Conference elected delegate. I was governor of Kano State for 8 years, and so on and so. I was in the Senate, and so on and so forth. So when we sat down, what I told them is what I will tell you. Okay. If anybody wants to Kwankwaso to withdraw, let's bring criteria and select the best. Anytime I have any better candidate, I'm ready to talk to him.
If you're just joining us, that was Musarabiu Kwankwaso, the presidential flag bearer of the NNPP. Yes, if you listen to him in that video, he was saying a lot of things. Of course, this is the political time. This is just few days or few weeks to the February elections, and you should trust politicians to always come out to give a backlash to their fellow counterparts, all right, or to their oppositions. Yes, and being invited to the Chatham House over time, the Chatham House has been like a baseline or a platform to really air out whatever any presidential candidate, especially from Nigeria, who has been invited over. It has been a platform, the Chatham House has been a platform for them to really air out a form of strategy or political plan they have for the country, to air out a sort of sophisticated manifesto that they've drafted out for the development and progress of Nigerians alike. All right, so Kwankwaso being invited to that place also saw it as a platform to say all he had to say and to tell Nigerians, or to give Nigerians the said or the purported hope that, or the purported succor, the alleged succor that all of us have been waiting for. All right, so you heard him there. He declined a merger with the Labour Party. He said that in old times he was actually with the Labour Party, yes, and which is true. During the last elections, Kwankwaso had some links with the Labour Party, but he said the reason he had those links with the Labour Party then was that the Labour Party was receiving a kind of overwhelming media hype, all right? And because of this media hype, he decided to join them and to see if he could stand for the pursuit of goodwill and progress for good Nigerians, all right? So he has come out to say that this time around, he has decided to stand on his own, all right? Answering some questions there, he directed few statements to people, and he said, of course, when you're asking a question as sensitive as a politically inclined question, it shouldn't be sentimental. He sensed that whoever was asking that question was from a particular region, all right? And he categorically stated that qualification-wise, he was better than the Labour Party candidate. Of course, he said he has an MSc, he has a PhD, I beg your pardon, in engineering. And then he said he has been in the service for over 30 years. He has been in the civil service for over 30 years. He categorically stated when he was the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, sometime during the Obasanjo's government, he stated when he was the governor of Kano State for a space of 8 years. He also stated a lot of civil or public offices he has held so far, giving him a kind of wide range of experience that he thinks the Labour Party candidate doesn't possess. All right. Now, well, I don't know why he directed almost all his speeches to the Labour Party, but it's left for us to know over time to see why and if whatever Kwankwaso said in the Chatham House yesterday can actually come to reality. Okay, all right, or whatever he says will actually win him the presidential seat come February 25th. The next video I'm going to show you is a very strong one, and this is coming from one of the spokespersons of the Labour Party. You all know him, Kenneth. All right, Kenneth is not only a barrister, but he is also a Nollywood star, and now he's into active politics. In this video, he appeared on Channels TV to tell Nigerians more about his principle and the plans of the Labour Party, okay? And then in this same video, he described he gave an elaborate explanation to whatever his principle came to say or came to Chatham House to say. All right, and people Nigerians are reacting over the overwhelming stand, okay, he has in answering questions. All right, so let us watch this video and see what Kenneth has to say.
The nation. And one of the ways in which he said he was going to do this was by fighting corruption. He's spoken about, his kick against corruption, the stance against corruption. How is he going to do this in the very complicated system here in Nigeria? And beyond that, talking about corruption, he also said he was going to eliminate fuel subsidy. I would like to find out from you how soon, if he does become president on the 29th, or when he's sworn in on the 29th of May, how soon is he going to do away with fuel subsidy, bearing in mind that the current provision for it ends at the end of June? Would he be willing to, do away with fuel subsidy 1 month after he's sworn in?
Well, I would surprise you by saying the issue of tackling corruption is the easiest thing to be done in Nigeria. And the reason is simple. Like my principal said, it's the state officials that are stealing oil. So when you get into office and you employ people who are not corrupt like yourself, you have ended completely oil theft. Oil theft is not something you pilfer. It's not a liquid you can't put it in your pocket. A ship cannot be hidden before a ship moves into our territorial waters. And I'm telling you, as a lawyer to some oil magnates, before a ship enters our territorial water, if you know what it takes a ship, you will know that security agencies, government officials must be complicit before a ship can enter our territorial water. Do you know, shamefully, for any barrel of oil that Nigeria sells, 51 barrels are stolen and sold illegally. How do I know that? 51 pipes were illegally projected into the major pipe that carries the legal oil for us to export. And each one takes as much oil as the major pipe. And this has been existing for 9 years, telling you that corruption has become systemic. It was only when my principal voiced out that it is the state officials that are stealing oil, that's when they started making the discovery. The discovery has been there, but the lack of political will, and because the state officials are the thieves here, it is impossible to fight. So the first strategy that my principal is going to adopt is that he himself is not going to be corrupt. And if he is not corrupt, who is he that is working for him that will be corrupt? Well, I'll tell you what happened.
Well, Mr. Konko, let me just butt in here. Let me just butt in here for a second.
If you would allow me.
No, because
so
it's in
your
line.
Headbutt will not give me some.
No, it's in line with what you're saying, because of you're talking about when one person says he's not corrupt.
Proceed.
The current President Buhari, has said in a recent, when he went on the campaign trail in Yobe State, that he does not have a house to his name in the United Kingdom. You can search him. He is not corrupt. However, this hasn't stopped, people around him. We had the AGF, we've had a number of high-profile corrupt cases under this administration. So that's not convincing enough. If one person, in this case, the president says, well, I'm not corrupt, it's no longer strong enough for Nigerians to say that doesn't mean your government is going to be corrupt. So how would he ensure?
Thank you very much for bringing... Good. Thank you very much for bringing up that issue. Because you have reminded me the reason why I followed President Buhari. Because in all honesty, when he tells you he does not have a house anywhere, he's being sincere about it. I can tell you, the closest I reached to President Buhari, I can tell you that there has not been any proof to any personal corruption to his name. No doubt about that. But that's talking about character. And that is why we are saying the 3 C's are the irreducible minimum for the next president. Because character is not enough. You must have capacity, you must have competence. President Buhari is lacking in capacity. Maybe because of his age, I don't know. Because a man who has sat in a hospital for 8 months outside Nigeria, when he's the president, certainly will lose track of certain events. Maybe his competence may be questionable. As you know, his certificate is still being doubted, whether he did his primary school or secondary school. So we need these 3 C's. And my principal has them in excess. When you talk about competence, hey, he was educated in University of Nigeria. He was educated in London School of Economics. He was educated in Oxford University. He was educated in Kellogg Graduate University. He was educated in Columbia University. He was educated in Massachusetts, Boston, Harvard University. All the best universities in the world. That is capacity. When he climbs the staircase, he jumps it, telling you his feet as fiddle. Not just that he's going to be a leader. He's going to supervise the people that are working under him. That is why it is dangerous to elect a president who cannot even come for a national debate because he's impaired in his reasoning and he has lost his memory, his abilities, his experiences. He has lost all of them. And I'm talking specifically about Bola Tinubu, who is suffering from dementia and amnesia. It's dangerous to bring such a person on the position of leadership. And I am talking about Atiku Abubakar, who is now an octogenarian, who cannot climb staircase. And you can see the best they are already doing. And that is why we are saying that Peter Obi is the only option, not just an alternative option. When you talk about corruption, I've talked about the capacity, the competence, and then the character. Peter Obi, I can tell you one thing. One of his aides met me when they were talking about corruption. He said, I am the one who took the parcel of land to His Excellency Peter Obi. I, personally. And I was shocked when he replied. And he said it was not to corrupt him. It was his entitlement. Just like in Abuja, everybody is entitled to a plot of land. As a governor, he's entitled pension, plot of land. But he rejected all of them in order to prove to the world that he came to serve, not for what he will receive, but what he will give. So he's going to tackle corruption. Why? He's going to reduce cost of governance. He's going to ensure the entrenchment of rule of law. He's going to establish an honest and efficient civil service. He is going to live by example. So the structure of corruption, what did you hear about Obasanjo when he talked about Atiku? He said this is a man that has propensity to corruption, tendency to disloyalty. He's a man that is unable to say and stick to the truth at all times. He's a man that has poor judgment, a man that lacks transparency, a man who believes in marabout, a man who
Mr. Kwankwaso,
believes in money to pay his way out in all the things he's doing. He has readiness to compromise morality, integrity, propriety, truth, national interest for self and selfish interest. Corruption personified. He has corrupted the older generation. He advised Obasanjo against open corruption,
Kenneth,
but encouraged
Kenneth, let's ask the question so that we can move very quickly.
He has infected the next generation with special purpose vehicle of corruption.
Okay.
Yes, in as much as it sounds funny, but it's still truthful, okay, and it's always very, very hard to find the truth during the political times, all right? Of course, some people used to say politics is a dirty game. We don't know how dirty it is, but we've seen a lot of backlash from different opposition parties, a lot of dirty linens being washed outside over time. So I will still urge you to stay glued to Nation's Voice Tower to for more updates. Now, on that video, Kenneth Kwankwaso came out plainly. Now, first of all, it's very, very rare to find a politician say something good about his opposition. Okay, right now, in that video, Kenneth Kwankwaso came out to say, at least for the first time, the President Buhari, the president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, is on his good books. Yes, he said, and because having worked with the APC in the last election closely, now he has switched allegiance to the Labour Party, the thespian, the Nigerian actor, came out to say that President Buhari, yes, he's always right when he says he has no property to his name outside Nigeria, all right? And he was talking about the fact that his principal, Peter Obi, said he was going to tackle corruption by setting an example or starting with himself, all right? But a question was thrown to him by the reporter there, as you could see, that President Buhari also applied the same strategy of not being corrupt, but he ended up having few corrupt cases around his government, pointing at the present EGF's corrupt case, and so on and so forth. Okay, now Kenneth Kwankwaso came out to say that yes, it's true, the transparency strategy adopted by President Buhari seemed not to work, because for you to be able to gain that kind of political balance and to be able to mount a permanent stampede or a permanent barrier to corruption, you must not only possess character, which Buhari possesses. He said he only possesses character. He must possess the 3 C's, according to him: character, competence, and what have you, all right? So he said President Buhari, having spent over 8 months in the hospital, he doesn't see him as competent to really bring his character into play, okay? He said maybe it's because of his age and so on and so forth. He sees his principal, of course, as a viable candidate, age-wise, strength-wise, health-wise, and then he sees him as a competent candidate to really drive his manifesto home, okay? If you could pay attention more, he directed his claims to the presidential party, the presidential candidate of the PDP, that hardly stands straight, or he says, I quote, that he hardly walks on the stairs. Okay, he called him wow, that's very strong there. He said he's an octogenarian, all right? And then he also directed a backlash to the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he said he's suffering from dementia, all right, and other illnesses he pointed out. These are political times, so we should expect anything from opposition parties. Yes, these videos have been trending, and I want you to always pay attention to this YouTube channel for more trending videos. Now, I would like to have your reactions on these videos. You could drop it for us in the comment section, and I would love to also hear from you what you think about the 2 videos I just gave you. Of course, they've been trending, and before they stop trending, you should make sure you watch them, not just anywhere. Watch them on Nation's Voice Tower. Yes, don't forget to like our video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to view it, because it is with your likes and with your views that YouTube gets to recommend our videos to people all over the world to watch. Don't get it twisted. I will always be here with more political gists and more trending videos for you. I'm out. Peace out.